Yo, what's poppin'? It's Tommathan, and Halo has some news about the New York Excelsior, who has had an absolutely wild offseason this season with the marginalized gender stuff, and then they're not doing it, and now they're half doing it, and then they're not doing it at all, and then who the fuck knows what's going on now. But Halo has said that they plan on signing Fitz. And Fitz was originally linked to Washington, but he apparently turned them down. I believe he was asking for more money than Washington was willing to spend, was the rumor. But it looks like he's going to New York now. And he has a couple things to say about the New York Excelsior, because apparently he says they're still going back to being a mixed, marginalized gender half, I don't know, traditional roster, I guess, which is curious. And then he's talking about, will they just be riding the bench like Geggery did on the Dragons? Geggery did actually get some actual play time in season one, so I think this is a very unfair comparison because Geggery was genuinely just playing, and then, you know, season two, Better Off Tank comes around, she's not playing anymore. This is not really, I think that's a very unfair comparison, but whatever. And Geggery actually kind of good now. Where she was good then too, but like she's like top one tank on the Korean server, I believe. So like, if they pulled up with Geggery, this would be like, honestly, I could rock with Geggery being your off tank. Fuck it, let it go crazy. I don't give a fuck. But I guess that's not the point he's making. I still think that's an unfair comparison. And then, to be clear, New York could have 4 or 5 male players and a few female / marginalized gender players on their roster. I don't know. Could also be a male owl roster and then picking up an academy / calling all heroes roster, which it just like it seems like he doesn't really know what's going on to me. But they're New York are probably trying to still latch onto this marginalized gender in some way. Now, if it is an academy team, that's great. That's fantastic. Sure. If it's a calling all heroes team, even better. Perfect. That's ideal. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Because the last thing we heard of it was that New York were not pursuing the marginalized gender stuff for the Excelsior. Maybe they'll make the academy team, like he said. Who knows? I don't know. Expect an owl roster and academy. Like, now he's going back on this, so I guess we're going with that, and they'll just be a normal roster, which is kind of what I've heard. So I'm not expecting. Long story short, I'm not expecting them to be half marginalized gender, half like traditional, and they probably will get a academy team, a farm team, if you will, and we'll see what happens there. I don't know. That's just a long way of saying, Fitz is there, and they still have plans for marginalized gender people. That's it. That's basically it. Other small thing that I should have mentioned yesterday in my video with the whole format and stuff. Well, actually, I didn't really know about it then, so it doesn't count. But Sean Miller on Plat Chat, they did a Plat Chat afterwards. I keep my face here, I guess. Boom, I'm still here. And a thing with Plat Chat afterwards, he said that the age of contenders has to be 17 now if they're going to be playing in OWL for the Korean contenders or the APAC contenders and all that. But in the West, with players like Tree, who are currently 15 going on 16, right? They'll still be allowed because the Pro-Am is not the same caliber. They don't have to be 17 to play in the Pro-Am, so players like Tree will still go there. And this makes me think, well, if you're a 16-year-old Korean contenders player, are you going to NA to play? Are you just going to say, fuck it, I'm going? Like, I don't know. What's going on there? Probably not. I wouldn't make a lot of sense. But if there was a shift and if orgs did want to move like that, maybe it's possible. I'm not too sure if it is financially feasible for contenders teams to do that. But what if you're a 16-year-old Korean contenders player? The fuck's going on? Actually, what's going on? Junbin last season wouldn't have been able to play in Korean contenders? And then you're like, well, what would he be doing? Is that talent just stifled? Are they just stuck in tier 3 hell? It's pretty that's pretty monumental for the development of these players, is to play in contenders. And maybe they'll still be in contenders, but once their team hits OWL, they have to take a step back or something. Who knows? All I know is that if you're playing an official Owl play, you have to be 17, at least. But the pro-ams are not official Owl play. They're pro-ams, I guess. So I don't know. This is kind of like, that's monumental for any 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds in Korean contenders. You got some young ass motherfuckers in there that are tearing shit up. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm sorry that I can't like bring up an example. But yeah, Junbin was 16 last season even, right? That's one right there. He like all these players that are rookies now that are 17 that can pull through. Simple, for example, they would have been fucked last season. And it's like, well, what the fuck is going on? I feel like not having contenders be a middle ground from tier 3 to Owl would be like catastrophic for rookie players coming in that just hit 17. Like absolutely, absolutely bonkers the level difference you'd get. So I'm very interested. They will be sharing more specifics for the East, which I want to keep my eyes on because that's very important for the future of the game. You need players to have a good path to pro, as they said. And while it's good that you're giving tier 2 a chance to shine, if you're not letting the players actually work their way up the ladder from basically pulling them up, you know what I mean? Uh, you'll run out of players very quickly because there's no reason for them to play in tier 3 if they're a Junbin level player, right? And they just can't play in contenders. What the fuck are they gonna do? They're just gonna go to a different game, bro, where they can actually, advance their gameplay. Because there's only a certain cap you can hit if you're in tier 3, right? You have to go to that next step, but that next step is like taken out, and they have to like jump. They have to start walking up the stairs 3 at a time instead of 2. You know what I mean? That's just what I'm thinking. But we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, it's not that case. Anyway. Let me know your thoughts. Are you hyped for Fitz? I know there's a lot of Fitz enjoyers. Let me know what the fuck Halo's talking about here. Academy team, full thing, who the fuck knows? And let me know your thoughts on the contender situation, of course. Very riveting. Anyway, have yourself a good one, and peace.